don't want him. And what they've done is to show him that they do not want him. And by so doing, they had to play politics. You impeach him, you suspend 6 or 7 members of the House. Then, the next day, the so-called new speaker and a team of people go to sit down and do photo ops with the governor. Same governor who has not said anything since the crisis started. Yeah. He has not issued any statement.
Oh yeah, I think he did. He's not going to talk about it. That why he did not interfere is because it's not his business.
And now that another group have gone to meet him, what has he said?
It's still not his business.
Exactly, until there's chaos and there's commotion in the land.
Yeah.
I feel that the governor is not handling. He's a new governor, but I feel that he's not handling this
well.
In my own opinion, and I am glad that people like Femi Falana, and Afe Babalola, Wole, Olanipekun, all I echoing the same thing. Mm-hmm. The governor is being too quiet. If he's really in charge, this is a good time for him to show us that he is in charge, and what's going on? Who are the people behind the scenes? Why suspend only 7? Why not suspend all the people that voted for this person? Yeah, because the man had majority votes at the election.
He did.
Then suddenly there are just 7 members that are bad, and they are all from within your party. And again, it's funny how they are allowing themselves to be used like this, because elections are in a few weeks' time, and if you continue, the opposition can capitalize on this. Mm-hmm. This is not a good sign for their party. This is not a good sign for the people of Ekiti, because they don't need all these distractions. They want governance, and there can't be governance if everybody is busy playing politics.
I agree with you. Now, the APC, an APC group under the Aggrieved Northern APC Christians, have now recommended its members and the supporters to back the Datti presidential ticket for 2023. So this might actually be good news for the Labour Party.
It is very good news for the Labour Party. It is very good news for Peter Obi and his running mate, Yusuf Datti. They were in Ibadan yesterday. They had a good turnout for their rally. I know there are a lot of naysayers saying, nah. They didn't see the full shot, or they didn't use the main bowl, or whatever they did yesterday was massive. It was big, and they're going around, they're campaigning, they're doing their thing, and they're gaining ground. And part of the ground that they are gaining now is what you see now, with the endorsement by the group that calls itself Aggrieved APC
But
members.
My question is, if you are aggrieved, why not just come to Labour Party?
It's a case of wanting to have your cake and eat
it. Yeah.
So they have now finally done something that the APC can actually react to. What they've done now is that
APC can say it's anti-party.
It's not can say. You can't be in a party, you can't be in a party, then go and endorse, telling people to campaign for another party or another candidate, and expect people to just clap for you and say, So I believe that at this rate it's going to be a thing, and that they probably will get a chance to now tell them to leave the party.
Leave the party, yeah.
Because you can't just kick people out until there's probable cause.
And this I think this definitely.
But on the part of Peter Obi, it's a good thing for him.
Oh yes, it's a good thing. Yeah, everybody needs the numbers.
He should milk it.
It's politics.
If I'm him, I'm gonna milk it.
It's politics of numbers. I think that numbers is the bottom line. It's not a good thing for APC. It is a good thing for the Labour Party. Okay, still talking about it quickly. Just now, a federal high court in Abuja has also now sacked a House of Representatives member, Chris Ozugo, as the senatorial candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance for the Anambra South Senatorial District.
That's not a good sign for APGA. You know, they are the ruling party in Anambra State. And of course, you know, a Soludo would want all these party members to gain ground.
Oh yeah. Now, according to the court, they're saying that the person was still a member of the PDP in June when he stood for the primary election under APGA.
And these are the mistakes that politicians make. Like I said, a lot of things that they used to get away with
before, those are like technicalities that they always do.
It's not even technicalities, it's just them being brash and thinking it's politics and they can do anything. You should have resigned your position as a member of the PDP before going. Now, the sad thing is he can't go back to the PDP.
Oh, too late.
And he cannot do anything with the party that he got their ticket now.
Exactly what the judges said. Agreed that he ought to have resigned, defected, or cross-carpeted from the PDP to APGA before he can lawfully qualify to stand for primary in another party.
You see, again, these are the issues. When you want to do these things, do you even sit down to have strategy meetings? Do you have a team?
I don't think they think about it really well
before they look at the constitution and do things the way they should be done. These are the issues. These are the things that we're talking about. That if you're going to do this thing, you need to do it right.
Right.
You
I
need to
agree
do it
with
right.
you.
You know, so it's not a good sign. But again, if you look at it, he's actually an House of Rep member
already. So you would expect that someone like that is a lawmaker. Someone like that would understand. And they're part of people that agreed to this electoral act. I'm now beginning to think, because I was reading it that I think the Senate or the House of Representatives, there's about
70%.
There's 70% of people that are not coming back.
Yeah, we've said that a lot of times.
We've said that a lot of times. And now, my question is that what that tells me is that how many of them really did read what they assented to?
That's the beauty of it. It was just going to happen, and it has happened. It was something that people have been clamoring for, and they eventually let it happen. And for that reason, anything can happen next year during the elections. A lot of them are aggrieved. You saw them trying to go from party to party. In fact, in the PDP, they had to have meetings with them. In the APC, they were going to lose about a large chunk of their members, but I think they quickly nipped it in the bud. But at the end of the day, Nigeria will benefit from a situation where politicians start to realize they're not invincible.
Yeah.
And it's not their birthright.
Exactly. So talking about politics, the Nasarawa State governor, he had an interview yesterday where he had decided to mock the Labour Party candidate.
Yeah, they're screaming headlines like you would not buy Peter Obi for 10 kobo and everything. But that was not it wasn't exactly in that context. He's not saying he wouldn't buy him for that. He was referring to the governor of Anambra's statement, Soludo, and he's saying, of course, it's still all politics, that based on the things that Governor Soludo said about Peter Obi, that if you see him, you won't even buy him for 10 kobo and all of that. That is basically saying that what's his worth. Because if you say that he doesn't have any political worth or anything, you're making a mistake.
No, you're making a mistake. Definitely.
He based it solely on
what he was saying. Basically, he made a lot of comparison and about how the best way to know a person is the performance is the person sitting there now. What are the current governors talking about? All these people, and I think it's a very good thing to it's a very good concept to talk about, because now we know that there are a lot of people in the race now that have things to look back to, that we say, okay, what did these people do when they were there? Also, still talking about it, I know that I saw a headline earlier that the AAC presidential candidate was challenging all the other to a debate where he had said categorically that don't worry, that two of them, at least not even up to two, would come.
It's a good thing for our democracy.
But my question, sorry for cutting you short. Go ahead. My question is that why is everybody hampering on a debate?
It is a good thing for our democracy. Remember earlier when we were talking about the law that says that a person with dual citizenship cannot be governor in Nigeria. And I feel that the law should be changed because we are practicing the American version. We're supposed to be practicing the American version of democracy, which is the presidential system of governance, which we adopted in 1979. Moving away from the unitary, to the presidential. So again, debates are a fundamental part of the electoral system that we're copying from the US.
But it's not part of our law.
It doesn't have to be about law all the time.
It doesn't.
It doesn't have to be about law. If there's some things that are not part of our law that we still live in and live with and we practice. You get? So you're not going to say, in fact, the law, there are some things that the law doesn't speak to at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying
So
that
it is
debates
not
are bad.
compulsory.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
that
you asked the question actually. You said why, and I'm trying to explain why, and I've laid the background for you to say, if we say that this is what we're doing, and again, debates are a part of the tools that even candidates would want to use
to sell
to reach more people.
To reach more people.
Now, one of the reasons why a lot of people shy away from the debates is that not every orator is a good administrator.
That's where my
And
issue
not every
comes in.
administrator is a good orator. That's one. Two, there's always the part where people get to attack themselves and they leave the issues and they get,
personal, yeah.
And some candidates would have viewed it and said, I am not going to allow myself to come to such a place and lose a few points because someone feels that they can
say something better.
We've seen Barack Obama's debate actually did a lot for him.
Yeah, it did. But that's where my question comes in, yeah? To be honest with you, I think that we're in a country where we are not, what's the word now? We do not believe a lot of things that politicians say, yeah? So, if you're going to come for a debate, and I'm going to watch a debate, personally, I feel that you saying nice things at a debate does not translate to, like you said, being a good administrator. That doesn't tell me that you're going to be a good person or you're a good president or you're a good governor. What I would rather look back and say, what did this person do as a private sector person? What did this person do? That's it for me. At times, we've seen how people have come to say, I don't have shoes, I don't have this, I don't have that.
And that's where I think the problem lies. You said personally, but you are not the 96 million plus voters.
Oh, yeah.
You're just one voter.
I get it, but I also feel that there are a lot of people that have that.
No, they are. But it doesn't necessarily speak for everybody.
Oh, yes.
The way you feel about what you feel is actually valid and strong. But there are people who feel the other way. There are people who feel that they're not going to make up their mind until
they hear
these people speak together on the same stage. Okay, let me see who is the smartest person or who is the wisest person and all. We have not really cultivated that culture yet, and people are really trying to use it and say, you know what, let's have debates and everything. But if you've been following politics in Nigeria, in 1999, the man that became president, General Olusegun Obasanjo became a civilian president, he didn't go for a debate.
Yeah.
He did not. Look, if you had, and I know because again, he was up against Olufalaye. Come on. Olufalaye, na Minister of Education before, na economist, na this, na that. It was all of these things. There's a way Obasanjo would have gone and maybe Falaye would have taken him out.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But we've seen situations where, there's MK Abiola and he speaks well, even with the fact that he stammers. But when he comes to those scenarios, he's going to kill you. He's finishing you up with facts and figures and all of that. You get? We've seen those scenarios even in Lagos governorship races and all of that as far back as 99 with, the Ademola Adeniji delays, and the Sarumize. We've seen all of those things in the past. So what it is that a lot of people have looked at it and said, okay, it's a strategy. So in a way, a lot of politicians will also avoid that. Some don't mind. One of the greatest debates that I've seen in this country is the Lagos State governorship re-election for Fashola.
That is a beautiful debate. Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then if you fast forward to Osun this year, there were several debates organized, but there was a particular one, I think it was on Channels TV or so. And
there were about 4 or 5 of them. There was
one of the candidates,
I think, was he Labour Party candidate?
No, it wasn't.
No,
the
I
Labour Party guy had a good showing. But there was another candidate.
I think it was SDP. It was, yes, he was.
And that's what debates do for you.
Yeah, but that didn't translate to votes for him.
Because, again, it was too late. And look, the structure that he had and the vehicle that he had to drive.
Did not drive
But what it does is that, look, it might not be the governor now, but it puts him in good stead going forward.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Quickly, we have a lot of political stories, but I'm going to move on quickly from that because there's always something to always talk about. But there's a lot of entertainment stories. First things that I was going to talk about was that the NDLEA boss. We know that he's in news a lot, and on this one, he's now knocking a lot of Nigerian artists for glorifying drug abuse with their lyrics. Do you think it's right, or do you think it's just music? It's really not that deep.
It's really not just music. I'm a strong believer in words, and I know that a lot of things that we say have implications. Mm-hmm. Now, when you have a platform, social media or music or whatever, it has more impact than someone who is just shouting in the corner of his room or singing in his bathroom. So again, the lyrics matter, the words matter. I've always been at loggerheads with a lot of artists who have forgotten that they also need to have the clean versions of their songs. We grew up in an era where we always had the album version and the radio version of it. And we've not had that with
now should we even have can't we just even clean up our lyrics completely?
So on the one part, they need to have that version where, again, when people say stuff, it's like no, at least instead of him mentioning some illicit drug or whatever, it was using something else. People have songs that are coded. For instance, when you hear them talk about Mary Jane, Mary Jane is a lady's name, but it means other things. I'm not going to say that here. You get. And that's the issue that the Drug Law Enforcement Agency boss is talking about. Now, a lot of these guys are not going to do anything about it. That's what they live for. That's how they connect with the fans and get the money and the fame that they have. Someone will tell you that if you listen to a lot of Nigeria's current music, there are only 3 things you're going to hear them talk about. One,
drugs and money.
One is women. And not just women, usually a certain part of the woman's body. 2, money. And 3, drugs. Now, drugs can be broken down into illicit drugs, alcohol. They're all drugs. A lot of the songs that you sing at times, you don't even know the meaning. You just like it.
You like the song, and there are times that you don't even pay attention. And then maybe one day, then you just see lyrics. I'm like, okay.
Every time you hear people say something like loud, and you hear the word loud in a song, trust me, you don't want to sing.
You don't want to,
I can give you that one free. You don't want to sing because you don't know what it means. You think it's a word.
It's so I think I'm on him on this one. We maybe should be a little bit more what's the word now, conscious of the kind of things that we put out there. It's really when these kind of people influence a large chunk of people. Also, still talking about entertainment, something broke yesterday where news broke. I think it was Ruga that seems to be controversial a lot these days. Where he decided to, start throwing shades at people and all that. And Benson did not, formerly known as Buju, was not going to have a line down where he was like that. You cannot. There was a lot of assumptions about who Ruga was talking about, and Benson came up to talk about how you are referring to people that are your boss's boss. And there was a bit of back and forth with him. But before we even get to that point, I was going to talk about something popped in my head earlier in the day that, is it just me, but it looks like Ruga does these things purposely to trend so that because of music. Last week or something, I know he dropped
two songs,
and the buzz is not really there. All of a sudden, he says something controversial and everybody's talking about Ruga. It happened a few months ago too.
It's possible. It could be.
Isn't he looking like
it could be it could be a strategy, and it might not.
But if it
could be.
After how many times will people figure it out? I'm like, okay, will it probably not work anymore?
The truth is, even if they figure it out, it won't still stop not work. It will still work. Trust me. The Ghanaian artist, Shatawale, he had done something similar, remember? And there one or two other, even in the US, you have artists who, with Kanye West has done it once or twice, say something controversial, drop a single, drop an album or something. You get that's a strategy that a lot of artists adopt. Let's see how this one pans out. However, their beef seems to be real, and it seems to be ongoing. It's not because it was August this year that they had the last spat online.
and it looked like they were.
One of the things that Ruga said was that that he loves Buju, but that Buju is this, that, and that, and Buju is like, look, I'm bigger than you, blah blah blah, and they were back and forth. And again, they will have fans supporting them regardless.
Oh yeah.
And it's the same song now that is actually causing a lot of furore, a lot of talk. They are talking about how the song Ashiwaju that he dropped, because he dropped two songs.
Yeah.
Red Flags and Ashiwaju suddenly went to number one, and they feel that it's not organic, and it's not real.
Yeah.
That it was been induced. It must have been arranged
at the stream farms.
Yeah. So
and that was what brought about that conversation yesterday, and everybody has been going on about it. So first things first, do you think that the allegations of streaming farms are a thing in Nigeria now?
It's not a Nigerian thing. Yes.
No, I'm not. Oh, yes.
The stream farms are real. They're global, and music is now about digital numbers. So of course, if top US artists are being caught in the whole stream farm issue, it's possible that it's a thing in Nigeria. It's very possible.
Because a lot of people have come to talk about it. Black Bones has something to say. Yemi Alade has things to say about it. And then, we really begin to look at it, really. Some songs, I know that I won't say that I know a lot about music and all that. But there are some songs that you will listen to and you know that when you see the buzz around it, okay, take for example, Kiss Daniel's Buga. For a fact, there's no number that comes out of that piece of music now that you will not believe. Mm-hmm. It's a big song. Yeah?
But again, let's not mistake a big song for the fact that songs that are not as big will not do good numbers.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm just saying.
The industry is actually massive. The listenership is wide. There are some artists who actually have some kind of cult followership. Now you would say stream farm. No. For instance, there's the 30BG people.
Oh, there's
these are OBO. Those are OBO supporters, Davido supporters. They're the Outsiders. Those are Burna Boy supporters. Mm-hmm. There's the Wizkid FC. Those are, of course, they call them FC, but they're Wizkid supporters. Those are three major blocks. Those are people.
Yes.
Even former Big Brother winner and rapper Lekon.
Yeah.
Has
his own. They have the. But I was reading.
So one of the things that they organize are listening parties. And they actually go there and say, okay, go and listen to this.
And they just
drive
the numbers
up,
for them.
and they're not paid to do it. And it's still a form of a stream farm in a way.
Now,
but they all are doing it out of their love and supportership.
Broke something down, and I was shocked with the numbers. And someone said that why he kind of believes those things now is because after checking data, that take Apple Music, for example, as big as Apple Music is, sadly, Apple Music is not very big in Nigeria, as they have less than 500,000 subscribers. Funny thing is that some apps like some other streaming apps, you can actually listen to music without subscribing.
Of course.
Yeah. On something like Apple Music, you have to subscribe. So you have to be a subscriber to listen to it. So if there ain't that many subscribers, then you now see a particular song doing millions. And I'm wondering, like, okay, do you understand? The number of subscribers do actually not correlate with the numbers that you see, and which makes a lot of sense. But my point is, because it seems like you say, I wanted to ask to help break it down.
I want to suggest that when it's at the top of the hour, we can sign out the audio and continue with the video so that we don't stop this conversation.
Okay,
halfway.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So again, that's another very strong angle to it. The subscriber base for Apple Music, which is what is the bone of contention anyway. Mm-hmm. It's a limited field.
Yeah.
But the data is the data, and the facts are there because they have the back end. What you perform live, then you need the eyeballs and the ears, and that's where the issue lies. So for anybody who has even done a streaming farm boost to his numbers, it will not be commensurate with the sales that you get when you go on the road.
True, very true. That makes a lot of sense. So it means that if you say that, I'm just trying to break it down. It means that if you say that, okay, my song came out today and I have 25 million views in 1 week. Yeah. Yeah. And then I want to have a concert and then not up to 2,000 people come. And then you're wondering, where did the numbers come from? Yeah. I think I get what you're saying. It makes perfect sense. So if you're not going to do that, so it literally does not generate to success. Or would I say maybe different people have different things they call success? Because if you're doing whatever it is you're doing, I think that bottom line, as much as there's passion and all that works, money is also a driving force. So if you're not making money off what you're doing, more like you'll probably have to spending more money than you're even making from it. What sense does it make?
The sense is that there are a lot of things involved in, since we're talking music now, so let's focus on the music industry. So, of course, there's the streaming, where after some of the platforms, it depends on the number of streams that you have before you get paid for it.
Yeah.
Then there is also the endorsement aspect of business.
Oh yeah.
So when an artist comes out and is doing numbers, brands want to latch onto it. Brands want to key into it. So they have agencies working for them, or they go ahead and look at it themselves and say, oh my God. For instance, a skit maker / comedian did a song about Wizkid, and the song went viral.
Oh yeah, the song is big.
You can't deny the numbers on that song.
Oh yeah.
That's Kata Afe and Berry Tiga, Machala. Barely a month of that song coming out, a business based in Dubai gave him an endorsement.
Yeah, they gave him an endorsement, yeah.
I think he got 1 or 2 endorsements like that on the strength of one song. He's done another song. He's going to be the biggest. Where's the buzz? Do you understand? A Nigerian artist sang one song. He sang other songs, but his first hit was Love in a Maserati.
Oh yeah.
A year or so after the song,
he got an endorsement with Maserati.
Do you understand? Now, those are viral, moves. But that artist is not the biggest artist in Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
The
He's had
artist-
other songs and
The artist that did the matches is not the biggest, but the people who got them went to look at their numbers. So there's a way numbers will influence the other part of the business. The organic or viral growth of music or a song, plays a large role in this. But again, even for the people who are doubting, they will go and like, how did this guy get 10 million views? They are also going there to watch. The naysayers are adding to his numbers.
That is way.
And all of that. Before you know it, he's still going to go viral. He's going to get the numbers up and everything. So they know that there are several things to look at. Some artists, way back when there were no numbers, would take their original work and go to Alaba. And everybody was chastising the music people in
industry.
Alaba. Not the music people in Alaba, not industry. That, they were always coming out with fake products and they were doing these mixtapes and the artists were not getting paid for it. And those Alaba guys, they would just call a DJ, put a list together and put it on a CD and people were buying them.
Oh, yeah.
And the sales were not getting to the artist or the record labels. Or they'll even take your CDs and fake it and sell.
And then that's it.
But there's proof and there's stories of some artists
now going there,
even paying for their songs to be pirated or to be added to those mixtapes.
I read something once of a particular artist that went there, got paid, just gave them the original, got paid, and then just say, you know what, do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, people were selling their rights at some point in time. That's another angle to it. So how is that different from the farms, the stream farms and everything that everybody's talking about? Because an artist that did that knows that these CDs will go further than whatever his record label is going to do for him.
I don't have the network.
Distribution network is not there. So again, there's the concept of fake it till you make it. And a lot of people will be like, so you need to appear like you got numbers, you got followers.
At the end of the day, if you're not careful, you still wouldn't get it, because the people that you're expecting to listen to you, the only people that really, really listen to you are the only ones listening to you.
There's an artist that said that he created other Twitter accounts to push his Twitter account. He did it himself. Some people even have people doing it for them for free, or some people are paid to do it. Like, for instance, the matter of Ruga and Benson that started all of this. Even when Benson was insinuating about farms, about streaming farms, Ruga on his own part was saying, don't you pay influencers, and suddenly your song is big and everything. And really and truly, you start to wonder, like, they're both saying these things. But there are scenarios like this that make you understand that there's a lot going on behind
closed doors.
A lot of things are happening that leads, to the games that are being played. And at times, you as the listener, you're just a pawn. You're just there, and you're driven by those numbers also. You're driven by the perception of, how big this person is.
That's the thing, the perception.
Again,
perception
I know one or two people who started off their social media with buying large chunks of followers. I know a particular guy. He's not an artist. He's a journalist, and we actually checked, because then I think he had about 20-something thousand or so followers. I'm like, he doesn't have a platform. How did he get to? And he wasn't tweeting that much and all. So we went through.
Then you now
the
check
followers.
his engagements, and then
we went through the followers. Spent time. And you were seeing all those Saudi, all those Asian people, and all. He's okay. That's one too. Check the engagement. Drops a tweet, no retweets, no like. There were no likes then.
200,000.
And all of that. And the funny thing is, the same person has grown so much now that his engagements are crazy. All he needed, as a smart guy, was to show certain people that he could do it and build on that. And there are artists who have done that too. There are artists who have done that.
So it's really not a bad thing at the end of the day,
if you have something to back it up with, because it's all part of the fake it till you make it concept.
Okay, all right. Oh, we really have overshot. But anyway, before we go quickly, let me just give you a little bit of rundown of the games that are being played for the World Cup now. Those games have ended. The next one is at 5 p.m. between Portugal and Ghana. Uruguay and South Korea ended 0-0. And Switzerland and Cameroon ended 1-0, like we had said earlier. So at 5 p.m. there's going to be Portugal and Ghana, and then at 8 p.m. Brazil and Serbia. I think those two games, everybody wants to see what Brazil will play and what Portugal will play. But there's been a lot of surprises these days. So anybody betting, be careful how you bet these days. Don't let these top teams give you a heart attack. Anyway, so on that note, thank you for listening. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with another wonderful edition of The Boom Bar. Please have a beautiful day ahead.